I'm going to take a look now at plugins, which are one of the things that make WordPress so versatile and great to use. To install plugins, you want to be in your WordPress dashboard. So if you followed straight on from the last video where you were setting up your emails in your cPanel, just log out the cPanel and go to your WordPress dashboard, which you can get to by typing your domain name followed by /w-p. The first thing then is to answer the question, what is a plugin? Well, a plugin is a bit of code, normally delivered in a zip file, that extends the functionality of WordPress. So if you want your WordPress site to offer some functionality to your visitors, there'll normally be a plugin to do that. And there are thousands of WordPress plugins available. For example, you can get a plugin to display your pictures, to add a table to your website, to do calculations on your website, to add forms, add extra functionality to your posts and to your comments, add a shopping cart, make your site a membership site, and so on. The best way of showing you about plugins is just to go ahead and install some, which obviously I'm going to do in a moment. Installing plugins is very fast and easy to do, and like with the themes, I'll show you two different ways of installing a plugin. What I've then done is shown you in the notes below the video some plugins that I think are either very useful or I think they're essential, and I've explained in the notes below why I think those plugins are useful essential. That's not to say that these are the only plugins you'll want to use. The way I normally look at it is, if you want to do something on your website, then rather than trying to code it, there'll normally be a plugin that will do what you're looking to do. So without further ado, let's take a look at the plugins, and the first thing you'll need to do is choose the plugins option in the left menu. If you click through on that option, you'll probably see that there are one or more plugins already listed as installed on your site. Now, my guess is that if you've installed your WordPress using a web host other than Bluehost, then you'll still see two of these plugins, Akismet and Hello Dolly, but you may not have Jetpack and Mojo Marketplace. Hello Dolly is normally supplied as a default plugin on every WordPress installation. What does it do? Well, it simply provides a lyric from the Louis Armstrong song Hello Dolly in the top corner of your WordPress admin panel. So in this case, I've just got the lyric, "You're still going strong." If you want to go ahead and deactivate that and delete it, then click on the deactivate button. I tend to leave it there. Why? Well, Hello Dolly is installed because it was put there by Matt Mullenweg, who was WordPress's founder. And I figure that having made such a great bit of software that I use all the time, if Matt Mullenweg wants it there and it doesn't bother me, then I might as well leave it there. The other standard installation is Akismet. That's arguably at least more useful in that it protects you against spam comments. I would definitely recommend that you use Akismet to avoid being deluged with spam comments over time. Although it's already installed, in order to use it you need to click through on the settings and follow the instructions to get an API key. This is easy enough to do if you just follow through the instructions. You'll be asked for some information, and at one point you'll be given the option to make a payment or donation. You don't have to do that, and you can set the amount to 0 and you'll still get your API key. I tend to use Akismet a lot and it's prevented me from getting a lot of spam in the past, so I have made a contribution. If this is the first time you're installing it though, and particularly if you're on a tight budget, you're definitely not under any obligation to make a payment in order to use it, so you can set the price to 0 and it won't cost you anything. Once you have an API key, just enter it in Akismet, and the Akismet plugin will be activated and it will run in the background protecting you from spam. Okay, so let's look at adding a new plugin. And one of the plugins that you'll see in the list below the video is the plugin DoFollow. I recommend that as a plugin. So to install it you simply need to hover over the plugins option in the left menu and click Add New. Then type the name of the plugin in the search box and click Search Plugins, and you can see the DoFollow plugin in the list. Choose Install Now, click through on OK, and you'll see that it's now installed. All you then need to do is activate it, and the DoFollow plugin is now both installed and activated. It's as easy as that. I told you it's fast and simple to install plugins. There is one more way I want to show you how to install plugins. The reason you need to know another way is because not all plugins are available directly from the WordPress menu. Very often, if you're looking for a plugin, the easiest way to do that is to go to Google and search for the type of plugin you're looking for. So if I go to Google and I want to say an SEO plugin, I can put SEO plugin WordPress in the search bar. You can see there in the list of options below. One of the options is all-in-one SEO pack, which is a plugin that I recommend in the notes below the video. So if you click through on that option, you'll reach the all-in-one SEO pack web page, and there's an option to download the plugin. So if I click to download that version, it will be downloaded as a zip file. If your web browser is currently set to automatically unzip zip files, then you need to change that setting, and you can find out how to do that by looking on Google, which will have instructions for your particular browser. But assuming that your web browser is just downloading zip files and keeping them as zip files, once you've downloaded the file, you would then move it onto your desktop or to another file location that's convenient to find, and then go back to your WordPress dashboard. Once you're in the WordPress dashboard, click to add a new plugin, and this time choose upload. You would then choose the file and choose the zip file that you've just downloaded. Click install. Then that plugin is installed. You would then activate the plugin, and that plugin is now both installed and activated and ready to use. You can see that the all-in-one SEO plugin has provided a new menu item in the menu on the left hand side of the dashboard. You can use that to change the settings of the plugin, and very often when you install a plugin, it will add a new menu item that allows you to change its settings. We're going to be discussing SEO in a later video. However, if you want to go ahead and take a look at the settings in the menu, go ahead and do that. You now know two different ways of installing a WordPress plugin. One from the WordPress menu, and secondly by looking on Google. I've recommended a number of plugins below. I'll also be recommending more plugins as we go through the videos. For now, I recommend that you go right ahead and install the plugins below using either of the methods that I've just shown you. All of the plugins below are plugins that I believe will benefit you as you start to build your business.